Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders board. Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, ready to answer all of y'all's questions. For those that do not know, we go live now on Thursdays as well, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Every question that you see from today's show is from that Thursday live show. Let's go to Refined Zeus. Do we take Gonzalez or Witherspoon at 7? I would rather the Raiders take Gonzalez. He's my number one cornerback. I can understand if they wanted Witherspoon. Here's the thing, though. The only corner that I know that they have met with on a top 30 visit is Joey Porter Jr. I know they like Chris Gonzalez a lot. They haven't met with Witherspoon. They also didn't talk to him at the Combine. So I'm curious to see if he's on the board at 7, what the Raiders actually do with him. Let's go to this next one. Rolling in here from Hutton. What do you think about Darnell Washington from Georgia in the second round? I think he's a good tight end. The tight end that I believe is the most likely for the Raiders, though, to take in round 2 is Dalton Kincaid, and that's more just based off top 30 visits. They met with Kincaid. They did not meet with Washington. And the fact that how deep this tight end class is, I hope the Raiders wait a little bit on taking a tight end. I really do. If they want to take one at 70, 100, or 109, that's where I would target one if they needed to take a tight end. I just don't want them to miss on a lot of great defensive talent early on in this draft. I want them to build the D, giggity, and then look at a tight end, giggity. Let's go to Samuel. How far would you trade back but still get value? To me, if the Raiders want to trade back, trade back. If a team is willing to trade up a lot for a QB, you can still find value. There is enough defensive talent in this year's class where if the Raiders traded back to like 16 with the Commanders, a top 3 cornerback is going to be there on the board. They also really like Deonta Banks. So if you wanted to go back to like 20, 21, 22, stockpile as many picks as possible, I am on board with it. I just hope that the Raiders do trade back and still get good value in that trade back. Let's go to the next question rolling in here on the Raiders Report. We know the Raiders and Patriots love each other. Will Levis is visiting the Pats. What if New England traded up with the Raiders for Levis at 7? What does that deal look like? All right, so Chugs, we have a draft trade idea. So Chugs, build that real quick or get it. If the Raiders were to trade back with number 14 with New England, yes, New England is looking at quarterback Will Levis right now, which honestly doesn't surprise me all that much because there's been reports that the team is split on Mac Jones and they're split on Bailey Zappi. So if you don't love either of those QBs, like we always say, if you got 2 QBs, you got no QBs. And this could be a regime in New England that looks at their quarterbacks right now. They're like, we don't love either of those guys. So could you potentially get a player like Will Levis? And I mean, if I'm the Raiders, I'd be like, hey, Bill, if you guys want your QB, make the call. According to the trade value chart, and again, this has been a trade that we have shown before on this channel, this is what it would cost according to the trade value chart for the Raiders to trade back with New England. New England trades up, gets Will Levis at number 7. The Raiders then get pick 14, a second-round pick at 46, and then a fourth-round pick at 107. What do you think? Would you make this trade if we were sitting here on draft night and the Las Vegas Raiders get the phone call? Would you do it? For me personally, I would do this trade in a heartbeat. Like, I think it's good value. Yeah, you got to go back a little bit. To me, though, you're still going to be able to get a Devin Witherspoon, a Chris Gonzalez, a Deonta Banks, a Joey Porter Jr., and then at 46, you're going to be able to stockpile more picks. In the 4th round, you add even more talent. There's just way too many holes for this team. Chugs is telling me to make this the pinned comment on today's show, so that's what we're going to do. Would you make this trade? Give me a yes or give me a no. What up, Beto? Do you think C.J. Stroud drops in the draft for being a no-show at the Manning Academy? This has been a story that has started to pop up, but I'm pretty sure this story happened actually last offseason. It's just what teams try to do is they try to bump certain things up to make teams fall. Like, the team that I think is leaking this or trying to get more people to talk about it is the Indianapolis Colts, who have the connection with Peyton Manning, who, if he's on the board at number 4, would love to get him. Like, if the Colts don't want to trade up, like if C.J. Stroud's on the board there at 4, interesting stuff. If they take Will Levis, though, and he's there on the board at 5, that's where the Raiders definitely show some interest. Let's go to today's MVP during our live show, Sergio Orozco. If you're watching right now, spam Sergio. He said, "What's good, Raider Nation? Let's get turned up. Hope we get a good pick in round one." The Raiders got to get a good first-round pick. Raider Nation deserves it. And if you don't convince your fan base that you're getting a good first-round pick, I just have a lot of questions of what you're trying to do this upcoming season. Sergio, from the bottom of my heart, I salute you, and I appreciate the hell out of it, my brother. Let's go to Will Thompson. If we trade back 3 to 5 spots, can we still get one of the top corners? Yes. Like, realistically, to me, I look at Deonta Banks. He's a top 20 player overall. Really, really good player. If the Raiders, honest to God, were to trade back, and let's say you trade back in round one and you get an additional second-round pick, okay? You get an additional second-round pick. If you're able to get Chris Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon, Joey Porter Jr., or Deonta Banks, I am okay with that. Like, even if you trade it back to 13, 12, 14, whatever it is, and you get that extra second-rounder and you're able to get one of those top 4 corners, I'm okay with it. In fact, I really like this draft. Now, if you love the NFL draft, we actually have a draft-specific channel. All it is NFL draft content, 365 days out of the year. And if you want more draft coverage, then go to this link that you see below, youtube.com/chatNFL. Only draft content, only fans, but for draft. Go check it out. Let's go to John Scheffler. He's giving me a what's up. What's up, John? Let's go to Michael Hyde. People like teams who are successful. All these LA celebrities are fans of the Rams because they have seen success. We ain't seen no Kevin Harts at Raiders games, not to mention all the bandwagon fans. You can get your bandwagon fans, and this is more back to a live debate of saying who owns LA, where I said the Raiders still own LA. And yeah, there's going to be some bandwagon fans out there, which sure, you can go do that. But what do you have to bandwagon for the Chargers? Sure, the Rams just won a Super Bowl. I think they're going to be bad for many years to come, and they were bad last season. To me, though, Raider fans is like the movie 300. I will take 300 Raider fans over 1,000 Rams fans, 1,000 Charger fans any day of the week. He's an Eagles fan? I mean, there are plenty of diehard Raider fans that are celebrities. So, Michael, I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. Let's go to OG. Didn't Mac Jones fall to the Pats? I know it's a long shot, but the odds are never zero. Mac Jones did fall to the Patriots at number 15. I mean, look at last year's draft. Kenny Pickett was the only quarterback taken, and he was taken at number 20 in round one. I do not see that happening this season. But the reason why NFL mock drafts, the reason why NFL media, the reason why people always talk about quarterbacks going early, guess why? They're trying to sell your product. Fans, even like people who don't pay attention to sports, college football, know who the quarterback is. And name value is going to get more clicks. It's going to get more views. That's why quarterbacks are always hyped up early. Why? Because people know who they are. And if you know that a team's trading up for a QB, it's going to get you more picks. So is anything possible? Yes, absolutely. We'll see what ends up happening on draft night. It's going to be interesting. Let's go to Steel Cage. What's up, brother? Trade back, add a second-round pick, move up for Hooker. We'll see. I don't love that idea. Like, Hendon Hooker is a good quarterback, where if he's on the board in the second round at 38, if the Raiders take him, cool. I'm going to give it a C grade. What I don't want the Raiders to do, though, is to trade back in round one, take whoever, and then you're got 2 second-round picks or whatever, use those second-round picks to trade up into the back end of round one and take Hendon Hooker. Like, that's not a good use of picks to me. Hooker is the type of quarterback, if he's available and you don't have to trade up, I'll live with it. If you got to give up extra draft capital to go up and get him, that I don't think is a smart move to do. Let's go to Richel Mins, which it's close, but my last name is with an E. Mitch, you said the Raiders had a visit with Charbonnet from UCLA or whoever, or however you spell it. What does that mean for Josh Jacobs? Spelling apparently is not this guy's strong suit either. Though how you found this picture. What year of college is this from? Do you know? You think it's freshman year? I think it is freshman year. think it is freshman year. It's either that or it's my sophomore year. One of the two. In terms of Jacobs, this is an interesting discussion point, right? Like the Raiders did bring in UCLA running back Zach Charbonnet, used to play for Michigan, in on a top 30 visit. That scares me. I'm not going to lie to you. It scares me the fact that they could potentially let Josh Jacobs go and think that they have a good enough running back room to make it work. The problem with McDaniels and Ziegler are they're not so much like players can get us to where we need to go. We're the people that can get you where you need to go. I don't love that mindset. So does this scare me a little bit? Yes, it does. Also, don't look up my freshman year stats. They're bad. My sophomore year stats, that was pretty good, not going to lie. Let's go to this next one, which apparently we're just going to tell you to subscribe for Raiders videos and Rumors weekly shows every single week. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell. I would definitely appreciate it. One person I know subbed and got the notice turned on is this guy, Patrick B. If these quarterbacks come out with next year's class, I bet they're all taken out of the first round. We need defense, and it's a perfect draft to fill up on that side of the ball. Let's draft all D through the first 3 rounds. I don't 100% agree with that, Patrick. I still think Bryce Young's a first-round pick. I still think C.J. Stroud's a first-round pick. But Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, I don't think those guys go in the first round. And you bring up a good point where sometimes NFL teams, it's kind of like supply and demand, right? Where, I don't know, toilet paper, there's no toilet paper, right? When COVID hit, people were selling toilet paper on eBay for like $10 a roll because people needed it. What I don't want the Raiders to do is buy a $10 roll of toilet paper because it's this year. Like, to me, I would rather the Raiders invest in their future on a quarterback that I have a lot of confidence in. And for this year's class, there's C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young are probably like 3, 4, 5 if they were in next year's class. So I hear what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. Let's go to Harry. Who will be the first cornerback drafted this year? According to odds, like odds makers in Vegas, it's Devin Witherspoon. And it's not by the Raiders. According to the latest odds, the Detroit Lions are the team that is most likely to take a cornerback at number 6 with Devin Witherspoon. And the reason is, remember, they traded away Jeff Okudah, so they are going to be looking at a corner. So if I had to bet on it, I'm going to go with Vegas odds, and I'm going to go with Devin Witherspoon, but to the Lions. So how about this? You guys tell me, who is going to be the first cornerback drafted in this year's class? Let me know down in the comments section. Let's go to Steel Cage. I heard Stroud's stock is falling a bit. Any truth to that? Yes. Vegas had Stroud as it was like minus 300 to be number 1 overall, and then the S2 cognitive testing started to come out where Richardson scored at number 2, and then Bryce Young scored head and shoulders, not a sponsor, at number 1. So because of that, Stroud has fallen down a little bit, and I think he's going to continue to fall because the Panthers like Bryce Young. Houston doesn't like any of the quarterbacks. Cardinals don't want to take a QB, and then it's Indianapolis at 4. For all those reasons, Stroud has fallen down the boards. Let's go to Josh T. I did 10 mocks on PFF today, and on 8 out of the 10, Stroud was available at 7. And Drew Sanders was available at 38. Is his stock really dropping that much? I will be shocked if Stroud's on the board at 7. I really will. Like, I'm telling you, I will be shocked. People can say what they want. PFF, I don't love PFF rankings, but, it is what it is. We'll see. I would be shocked. If the Raiders did come away, though, with Drew Sanders and C.J. Stroud, I'd give that an A grade. Something also that I'm going to give an A grade. I love when people interact with me, and I always tell you, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on IG. I got this message on Instagram the other day, and I'm going to read it to y'all. Hey, Mitch. Hope you're doing well. My younger brother, Jack, is a huge Raiders fan and religiously tunes into the Raiders Report live streams. You can definitely find him in the comments section on most of your videos. Jack, where you at? Jack is turning 15 years old this week, and it would mean the world to him if you're able to wish him a happy birthday on the Raiders Report. His birthday is Saturday, April 22nd, so if you could possibly wish him a happy birthday Thursday, April 20th, because we won't be home Friday, that would be amazing. Thank you for always making his day every time you go live. I'm a family person, if nothing else, and the fact that You got an older brother wishing the younger brother a happy birthday. So what I want all y'all to do right now is sing along with me. Spam HBD. This one is from JG1, wishing his brother Jack a happy birthday. So Chugs, I need you here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jack. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Jack. Seriously, man. Hope your 15th is an amazing one. Love the jersey. Love the Josh Jacobs birthday stuff in the background. From a real one to a real one, we appreciate the fact that you tune in all the time. And you got an awesome brother. There's no doubt about that. So if you haven't already, wish Jack a happy birthday. That's going to be the end of today's mailbag. We salute to all of you. And have a hell of a night, Jack. Be responsible, though.